the dust of your lotus feet, Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
gracing and giving us your darshan and the association of your Vani. I would like to welcome all the dear devotees, both on Zoom and on YouTube Live. Thank you so much for joining today's session. Today we will be covering the very interesting topic of how Bhrgu Muni searches the Supreme. So before we move on, we would also like to inform all our devotees that there is parallel translations, interpretations going on in Portuguese and in Hindi language. हिंदी में अनुवाद हो रहा है. आप इधर 3 बूंदे जहाँ हैं उनको क्लिक करके उधर सुन सकते हैं. So before we start the session with Srila Gurudev, I would like to invite Prakar Prabhu. He'll be singing the beautiful bhajan by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Tumhi Sarveshwara Vrajendra Kumar. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Shall I start, Mataji?
Yes, please go.
Tumi sarve sarveshwara Brajendra Kumara Tumaye chaya vishve srijana samhara तव इच्छा तो ब्रह्मा करे न जाना तव इच्छा तो विष्णु करे न पालना तव इच्छा ते शिवा करे संहारा तव इच्छा ते माया सृजे कारगारा तव इच्छा ते जीवे जन्म मरण समृद्धि निपाटे दुख सुख संगठना नीचे माया बद्ध जीवा आश पाश फिरे तव इच्छा बिना किछु করিতে না পারে তুমি তো রাখার পালক আমার তোমার চরণে বিনা আশা नहीं आरा निज बल चेष्टा प्रति भरोसा छड़िया तुम्हारा इच्छा छी निर्भर कोरिया भक्ति विनोदती दीना किंचन तुम्हारा इच्छा तारा जीवन मरण हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय गुरुदेवा Jayo Gurudeva, Jayo Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Jaya Gurudeva, Jayo Gurudeva, Jayo Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Jayo Gurudeva, Jayo Gurudeva, Jayo Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jayo Gurudeva, Jayo Gurudeva, Jayo Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jayo Gurudeva, Jayo Gurudeva, Jayo Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Thank you very much. Nice, beautiful, sweet. Thank you.
Roji, you have to read the translation, please.
Translation.
O youthful son of King of Raja, you are the Lord of all lords. According to your will, creation and destruction takes place in the universe. According to your will, Lord Brahma creates, and according to your will, Lord Vishnu maintains. According to your will, Lord Shiva destroys, and according to your will, Maya constructs the prison house of the world. According to your will, the living beings take birth and die, and according to your will, they meet with prosperity and ruin, happiness and sorrow. The tiny soul, bound up by Maya, vainly struggles in fetters of worldly desire. Without your sanction, he is unable to do anything. You are my only protector and maintainer. Except your lotus feet, there is no other hope for me. No longer confident of my own strength and endeavor, I have become solely dependent on your will. Bhakti Vinod is most poor, and his pride has been leveled. Now, in accordance with your will, he lives and dies.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Welcome, Srila Gurudev, to please enlighten us in today's Radha Shunya class. Hare Krishna.
All right. Jai Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Yaminiti Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravari Pratari Girishisa Sunya Vasakyari Shashwari Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravari Pratari Girishisa Sunya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhattara Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhattara Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhattara Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Radha Gadadara Sivasadi Guravata Jaya Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Radhika Gadadara Gauravata Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Hari Hari Nita Gora Hari Nita Gora Hari 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 Nita Gora Hari Jayam Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astute Rasita Sri Sriman His Divine Grace the A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astute Rasita Sri Sriman His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai अनंत गुरु वैष्णव व्रज की जय नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम की श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपाल गोपीनाथ श्याम राधा कुंड गिरी गौरवदान की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय मथुरा धाम की जय नावादु मायापुर धाम की जय जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की जय जमुना माई की जय गंजेश माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय Bhakti Devi ki jai, Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaura, Pramanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna, Prithai Bhutale Srimati. Bhakti Tita Swami Chinam Namaste, Krishna, Parashita. Shri Gaura Karana Sakti Bhakti Tita Chinam. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshulunmilitan Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Jagradatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Purijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Raghunatam Visakan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kananta Radha Kanta Namasute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhuvyayavasa Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sri Tita Maharaj Ki Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Sri Guru Parampara Ki Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Hare Krishna Radha Sunya, Missing Mercy. Day 26, we are looking at Bhrgu Muni searches for the Supreme and the wonderful teachings that we get from his exploration. Yes. The investigation. Bhrgu Muni was deputed by an assembly of sages to make an appraisal of the three predominating deities in the universe, Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu, to discover which of them is supreme. It is said that the great sage Narada Muni saw these great sages assembled together for a sacrifice. So Narada Muni came there and asked them, who among the Ishwaras you people consider to be supreme and to be worshipped in this sacrifice? And there were a heated scriptural argument. Heated scriptural argument among the sages. And there were no conclusion because they were all quoting from Shastras. Therefore, Narada Muni, who is always interested in helping living entities. He wanted to help his brother, whom he considered to be having some pride. So he selected Bhrgu Muni, and all the sages were happy. According to Chaitanya Bhagavat, all the sages said, "We have confidence with faith in you, that whomever you will come to declare as supreme, we will never have any doubt about that. We will follow you exactly. Please go. We are waiting for you." So now Bhrgu Muni begins his exploration. A mental offense. He first came in contact with his father, with Brahma. In spiritual culture, respect is always offered to elders because elders pass down wisdom and serve as mentors or role models. Bhrgu Muni approached his father, but he did not approach him in a mood of respect. So Brahma was distinctly disturbed and angered by the disrespect, apparent lack of gratitude, and lack of culture. Very good. Disrespect is what? A lack of gratitude, a lack of culture. Brahma is a Mahajan, is a teacher. So it is expected that his son should be proper in his conduct, in his activities, and behave properly, which is expectation of every responsible person. Every responsible person would like his followers, his students, or his sons to be the best. So when Bhrgu Muni did not show this respect to Brahma, so Brahma, it mentioned here, was distinctly disturbed and angered. Bhrgu Muni said, "Hello, Daddy." This is a real disrespect. Which many people are doing these days. "Hello, Daddy." So the Brahma was not expecting this. Just like even demon, Hiranyakasipu was not expecting from his son to be a devotee of Lord Vishnu. So when he asked his Prahlad Maharaj, his son, to tell him what is the best thing he has learned, to his surprise, Prahlad Maharaj was saying something which he never did. He never expected to hear from his son. At least he should hear that from somebody, but not from his own son. Prahlad Maharaj said, "Oh, best of the Asuras, the demons. It is better for you to go to Vrindavan and take shelter of Vishnu. Prepare for your death and go back home, back to where head." This was a terrible dead blow to Hiranyakasipu. He threw Prahlad off his lap. He expected that his son should be a first-class demon like him. So also the Brahma was expecting his son to be a real Muni, Sister D Muni, self-realized, who knows the Supreme Personality. And for those who know the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are very, very respectful and grateful to the elders who are role models. Gratitude. So Lord Brahma did not see that. He was shocked when he was angry. And he wanted to kill Bhgu. Next. Bhgu survived only because of the Brahma forgave him. Well, it's my son. What should I do? It's my son. But Bhgu took notice. He didn't kill me because I'm his son. So I don't think this is supreme. So he has committed a mental offense to his father. Now he has come to Lord Shiva, his own brother. Here he made verbal offense. Next, Bhrigu approached Lord Shiva and made the verbal offense. He spoke harshly, describing him as filthy, dirty, and situated in a mode of ignorance. When Bhrigu came to Lord Shiva, seeing his brother and the Muni, the same way, is expecting his brother to be a well-behaved Muni. State a Muni. So Lord Shiva wanted to hug him. Because don't touch me, dirty, smelly. Look, just look at you. A quick scripture approved the ones who wear skulls, dead bodies. Look, all dead bodies on your body. Don't touch me, smelly. Ah, what a mess. And Lord Shiva was furious. Only by the intervention of Parvati was Bhrigu saved from the trident of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva raised his trident, want to kill him. So Parvati has to hail him. Please, my Lord, he is your brother. Consider he is your brother. Forgive him. Sometimes a judgment can be made by watching a person's reaction after his or her ego has been challenged. When there is fruitive attachment, agitation will erupt. The love between spouses is not shown as much when everything is going well. But more so when they face upheaval. Ideal circumstances do not reveal the extent of our commitment or how much determination, understanding, and appreciation we have. In most cases, when things get wrong, we see the other side, the negative side of most people. There is a saying that you wouldn't know who is a friend when things are going good. Everybody will participate. Everybody will come. When things are going good, everybody will be perfect and holy. So if you want to know who, is when things bad has happened. It is then you know who is your friend. A true friend. Many people who have come because of your opulence, because of your situation, they will run away when the opulence is no more there. I have a very wonderful story, pastime to practical pastime to demonstrate this. Before I moved to the temple, I was staying with some people in our building. So there was one man there. One day he told his wife, "My dear wife, I have been sacked from my office. And it's going to take me some time to get another job and to get myself a proper place to stay. So because I have no job, I want to go and stay with a friend for the time being until my situation is better. So I would like you to go and stay with my parents in the village. When things are better, and I will call for you. Let me take this period to look for another job. I will get a house, and I'll call you back. It's not good for me to suffer you. So go back and stay with my parents." He asked her to go to his parents. The gate left. She didn't go to her parents, to the husband's parents. She rather went to her own parents. And not quite long, she started looking for another boy and started misbehaving, moving with this boy, that boy. And they got somebody else. She did not know that the husband has been promoted. The husband was promoted and he got a bigger house. So she was testing his wife. He was not packing to go and stay with a friend. He was packing to his new house. It's bigger than where he was staying. So he moved in there, furnished the whole place, and then called the wife. His parent told him that his wife had not been staying with him. She is with her parents, and they are hearing so many things about her behavior. In fact, she is with another man now. So the man drove to the village with his new car, and went to meet her. First of all, she was surprised to see the former husband with a car. Okay, maybe he borrowed it to come home. So he called for the woman. The woman came and was speaking nonsensically. So the man told her, "It's okay. So since you have gotten married to somebody else, that is fine. It's okay, no problem." So he returned back to his house. But he told his parents the reality that he has been promoted in his office. He has a bigger house and a car and moving there. He just tested his wife to see what kind of a wife she is, and she failed. So it was not his fault. So he moved in there, and after some time, the former wife, this lady, couldn't function properly with the new husband. And then when she came back to where the husband was staying, and she saw everything. And the man, she wanted to come and say, "No, I cannot take it because you are with somebody. She go back. He refused her. He gave her money. Please go back. I cannot stay with me again. You are with somebody. He left me when I was seemingly poor. So now the woman was crying, 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 and begging, begging, begging. She was begging and crying. The man she went to meet couldn't marry her. Now she's helpless. So when things go wrong, that is when we know who is really with us, our true friend. And there are many practical past time we experience it like this. So Bhrigu Muni understood. My brother spared my life only because I'm his brother and because his wife petitioned him to leave me. So Bhrigu Muni made mental offense, verbal offense, and now he has gone to Lord Vishnu. Let's see what will happen with Lord Vishnu. Escalating tests. Bhrigu Muni was trying to find the greatest personality, the one most firmly situated in spiritual identity and most fixed in spiritual absorption. Therefore, he performed negative tests by making different calculated offenses, and the offenses increased in gravity. He has made mental offense, verbal offense, now he's making gross offense. Bhrigu observed the reactions. He reflected on how Lord Brahma was angered by his mental offense and Lord Shiva by his verbal offense. Consequently, he began to consider how to test Lord Vishnu and devise an even more obnoxious test. When Bhrigu Muni approached Lord Vishnu, he was lying down. Bhrigu then greeted him by kicking him on the chest. Kicked him on the chest. Surprisingly, Lord Vishnu's response was apologetic. He expressed concern, wondering if Bhrigu had injured his foot on his chest, on his hard chest. Lord Vishnu displayed a great instruction through this pastime. Lakshmi Devi was massaging Lord Vishnu. All right, go there. Lakshmi Devi was massaging Lord Vishnu when Bhrigu Muni entered and kicked Lord Vishnu on his chest, which is an offense. Lakshmi Devi was more disturbed when she saw that her husband got up and started massaging Bhrigu Muni's feet. In Chaitanya Bhagavad, Vrindavan Das Thakur said, Lord Vishnu told Bhrigu Muni, my dear Muni, I did not know that you were coming. If I had known that you were coming, I would have come outside to receive you. But because I didn't know, I did not do that. Please excuse me for this offense. And worse than that is that your soft lotus feet has kicked my hard chest. My heart very hard. You must have wounded their lotus feet by kicking my chest. Let me massage it. When Lakshmi Devi had this and saw the action of her husband, she was disturbed. Now Vishnu used a very powerful weapon of humility. What is the power in the humility? What is the power in humility? I'm going to use the word here. He used a very powerful weapon of humility. What is the power of humility? Bhrigu, Lord Vishnu accepted responsibility for what has happened. That is the power of humility. He accepted the responsibility. Which is difficult for most of us because we don't have humility. Therefore, we don't accept responsibility for anything that has happened. Even though we must have done something wrong, we don't accept. We can see from the questions all of us were asking during this discussion on humility. Why I should beg for forgiveness? Because there is no humility. That is why it is difficult for us to beg. Instead, we like to justify the deviation, want to procrastinate, and they find many ways to judge it. He's the first person who did this, and I was just the second person, and so many things the witches were saying. Yeah, he was, this person was 70%, and I was just 30%, which is nothing. Oh, no, he was 80%, and I was just 20%. Why? Because we don't have humility. Therefore, we cannot accept the responsibility for what has happened. Lord Vishnu accepted responsibility for the offense someone else committed. He accepted responsibility. And because he accepted responsibility, he is begging for forgiveness. If we are harsh, insensitive, or ridiculous, a person who does not descend to our level can defeat us. Sometimes we can be defeated by act of kindness. Lord Vishnu used a very powerful weapon of humility. If we are harsh, insensitive, or ridiculous, a person who does not descend to our level can defeat us very easily. Sometimes we can be defeated by act of kindness. If the recipient of such mercy or kindness is very gross, then there is a need for a strict and a comprehensive chastisement. At other times, there is an opening for the exhibition of the higher principle of Bhakti. Next. The Sufi teaching. Turn on the light. The Sufis, the Muslim, generally considered to be Muslim mystics, have an interesting way of approaching Maya. They give the example of a thief. If we are upstairs and the thief breaks into the ground floor, what can we do? We can run downstairs with the broom, but the thief may have a hatchet. If we come down with the revolver, there may be 3 of them with the shotguns. What should we do? we can turn on the light. The rational thief will run once he sees the light. Of course, nowadays we have irrational thieves, and they will tell you, you had better turn that light off, or we will kill you and come back later for the rest of your family. They may not care about the light, being so animalistic. However, rational thieves, once they realize they have been discovered, will at once stop everything and get out. The essential point is that if we turn on the light to put forth more devotion, we will chase the nations out. Meaning that if we have devotion, yes, Krishna is light, Maya is darkness. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 22:31. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Maya Andakara Yahan Krishna Tohon Mayara Adhikar. Krishna is compared to the sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of the external energy will immediately vanish. Srila Prabhupada made that verse the motto of his Back to Godhead message. He put it more concisely still. Godhead is light. Nations is darkness. Where there is Godhead, there is no nations. When one is humble, who will accept everything easily, and they will not difficult, no argument, no fighting, no wounds, no expenditure. But when we are not humble, we will not take responsibility for anything that's happened. Then there will be fighting, there will be quarreling, there will be abuses, there will be wounds, there will be expenditure. That is the point. Next. Going internal through reflections. How do we respond under pressure? 10 minutes. In secular life, what to speak of in spiritual life, we cannot fully control what happens around us, but we always have the power to control our response, and we will be judged by how we respond. Yes, what happened, it is not the issue. The issue is how do we respond to what has happened. That is the point. How we respond to a situation makes the difference. Not what has happened. What has happened is a different thing, but our response to what has happened will make the mark. Personal reflection. When was the last time I consciously choose humility as my weapon, not to be defeated, but to stay close to Krishna? If someone kicked me, not physically, but through insult or betrayal, could I still care about their well-being as Vishnu cared for Bhrgu Muni? That is the question. So, discussion. How does turning on the light for devotion actually dissolve conflict rather than just avoid it? Hari Hari Bol. Take your 10 minutes and enjoy your discussion.
Thank you. Devotees are requested to please go into the breakout rooms and complete the reflections. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, yeah. So we have a few devotees who would like to share their reflections. Matsya Das, Matsya Das, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. This is my most humble, respectful obeisances to Gurudev and all Vaishnavas. So our group spoke some things. It's most devotees have this experience of having issues when others are assuming things about them. So it seems that it's a very pertinent issue, and they feel very bad with that. One of the devotees mentioned that one of the strategies is that he's trying to just chant Hare Krishna inside her mind whenever this situation comes. Another devotee mentioned that this is the ego, and we have this propensity to try to show that we are right, that we have the right over the situation. But we should try to get away from our triggers and try to silence our mind. So because that can bring some kind of change inside of us. If we are agitated in our mind, then we cannot change. We are just responding to what happened. And that makes all the difference. Another devotee mentioned that she always has the tendency to defend herself, but she's trying to keep peaceful in the situations and not to feel anger, and try to feel compassion of the people, of the person that is speaking something wrong about her. Yeah, and we should always be very sincere and try to explain and to expose the situation in a very compassionate way and peaceful way, and try to feel the peace that we are trying to feel. We should try to feel the peace we are trying to express. Another devotee mentioned that while Gurudev is here in Brazil, some situations like that occur, but he was trying to get over it. Always trying to seek help from senior Vaishnavas. So in order for us to try to check ourselves. Another devotee mentioned she had an experience with a colleague before she came to Krishna consciousness. In a moment that a colleague needed help, and she just, instead of reacting negatively to the way the person was speaking to her, she just tried to help without false ego, and that really was an amazing experience, and she became like best friend of this girl after that. So they had some issues before, but the issue made her like super good friends after that. I think that's it. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, all the group members, for your wonderful discussion.
Next we have Hamsadut Das.
Haribo, Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev, please can you accept my respectful obeisance to the divine lotus feet? All glory to Jai Guru Shri Prabhupada and all the wonderful assembly devotees. Yes, I'm from the group 1, but there was not much discussed, so I take the responsibility to speak for the group 1. And my reflection is that when I first come in contact with the devotees, it was my childhood friend, like a brother, who took me to a devotees for advice. So when we went there, beginning to have more interest, and I beginning to search about Krishna consciousness, and I beginning to follow Krishna consciousness. But he becomes so upset and tell me that he take me there to ask for solutions, but not to become a devotee. And I tell him that I'm studying with them, and all the time he will be calling me and telling me to be serious in my Islam religion. I say, okay, yes, I understand. So that he will not become so disturbed or use offensive words against me. And it come to the point that we travel together to Africa most of the times, and I stay in his house. And one time he told me that He don't want me to come to his house. And I say, okay, I understand. So I choose Krishna consciousness over him because I fall so much in love with Krishna consciousness, and I choose Krishna consciousness over him. He started to say a lot of things about me, attacking me, but I don't feel betrayed because what I feel, it makes me feel that I'm doing something better because I change a lot. And this same person, he falls sick, very, very seriously sick, and half of his stomach was plastic, and he was nearly died. But when I heard it, I called him, and we cry on the video. We share a lot of thoughts, and now we become so close to each other. Now we are best like we were before, and this has really, really, really helped me and helped me to understand. And at the same time, every time there's a confusion or something, I try my best to become so humble and humility so that people will see the change that since I come to Krishna consciousness, I've changed from so many things. Because before I don't tolerate so many things and I have a lot of anger issues, but this has totally changed through the mercy of our dear Shri Guru Dev. So this is my reflection. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for sharing, Hare Krishna. A nice experience.
Thank you so much. Then we have Prashant Tiwari Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, dear most Srila Gurudev, please accept my most humble obeisances unto the dust of your divine lotus feet. Srila Gurudev, in our group, we discussed the points, and I will quickly share them. Like, how do I respond when we are misunderstood or assumed, or there's something inappropriate? So some of the devotees mentioned that they get very much disturbed in such situations. They don't want other devotees to assume certain things about them. Rather, as you clarified yesterday, Guru Maharaj, they want things to be clarified. So they get very much disturbed. Other devotees mentioned that since our senses are very limited, we can't see, beyond the scope. They mentioned the example of we can't see, let's say microscopic organisms. So it is through our senses that we think that we are misunderstood, and probably we are assuming on our side as well. So keeping this in mind, they try to keep calm and they do not feel agitated or disturbed in such situations. And regarding the second question, when was the last time when I consciously choose humility as my weapon and decided to stay close to Krishna? One of the devotee mentioned a very heartfelt, realization, saying that when there wasn't a mutual understanding in following the path of Krishna consciousness with the spouse, and ultimately it led to separation, but still the devotee maintained the composure, and with the mercy of Srila Gurudev, he is still able to choose, Krishna consciousness over the spouse, and he's very happy with this. So another devotees also expressed that there has been instances when they were with the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, they have been able to choose humility and continue their consciousness with Krishna. And third question, if somebody have kicked us, and not physically, but let's say through insult or betrayal, again, a mixed set of responses. Devotees mentioned that they try the best to not react in such provocative situations. They try to be compassionate. They try to pray good for them. Still, if they are hurt, then also they try to pray good for them. Other devotees mentioned that, yeah, they are trying, but they are struggling with dealing such situations. And regarding the discussions, devotees in the group shared that turning on the light is like the sun in the darkness of ignorance. And they also mentioned, Srila Gurudev, that your remembrance or just calling out Krishna's name lightly and pleading for the mercy, how it works very instantly and immediately. And I myself have also realized and feel and felt this, that this works on an immediate basis. We are able to come out of that situation, let's say it's anger, lust, or any other anarthas, we just call out the Lord's name loudly and then we get the instant help. These are the certain points that were discussed in my group Srila Gurudev, which we wanted to share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. You are all the group. Very nice.
Then we have Aman Ninjanwala Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you.
So, Gurudev, the Hindi group devotees shared few points regarding the questions. For the first question, when was the last time I consciously chose humility? So, couple of devotees shared their stories, and one of them asked me not to reveal here in publicly, but the other devotee mentioned that during this Kartik month she went through an incident which was very upsetting, and she was mentally disturbed, and she felt that she has committed an offense. But because of these classes, she was able to deal the situation with humility, and she came out of the situation very nicely. And she is immensely thankful to you, Srila Gurudev, for the wonderful instructions, wonderful teachings that your good self has been passing through all these days. And regarding the next question, if someone kicked me through insult or betrayal, so devotees mentioned that it is difficult to respond the way Lord Vishnu responded. They are struggling with it, and they are just prayerful that going forward we will deal the situation in the desired manner. And the major discussion of our group went around the question that is mentioned here in discussion: how does turning on the light of the devotee actually dissolve conflict? So it was mentioned that the meditating upon the instructor, the instructions will automatically come in mind. And we are struggling between past impressions and present instructions. So if we'll keep in mind the instructor, the instructions will come in mind and will help us get over the past impressions. And doing devotion, being devotional, doing devotion in actual manner will help us rise above the grudges that is in our heart, and that way we can be able to dissolve the conflicts. Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
We have now Jayanand Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj,
Hare Krishna.
please accept my humble obeisances for the just Lotus feet, Guru Maharaj.
Thank
So,
you.
Referring to the first question, how do we respond to challenging situation? Guru Maharaj, since childhood we have been like operating in the defensive mode. Whenever there is challenges, we try to justify we are right. So when we come to Krishna consciousness, we come with the same luggage, and we try to act in the same way. Like we try to justify ourselves. When we are not able to justify, then we become disturbed, mentally disturbed, upset. And some devotees told that they are so affected that they start crying. And this is how we are reacting to the situations, challenging situations or in difficulties. And the best way was to seek help from authorities like the spiritual master or some senior devotees, how to handle that situation. And the second question was, when was the last time when you used humility? And one devotee told that she had a very good relation with another devotee, and she was like talking, relating nicely. But later on, she realized that the other devotee was speaking bad about her, behind her. And when she came to know about it, she was not like affected. She took it positively, and she thanked the Lord that she had not reacted impulsively, but with Shastra and like the knowledge that she has acquired through this workshop, this session, she has been able to manage her temper. And the other question is, if I got kicked, like Vishnu was got kicked by Bhrgu Maharaj, will we be able to maintain our humility? And here, one answer is that if we know that we are not, we have not done wrong, and we are being like blamed, then we can show our humility. But if, like, if we know that we have done wrong to that person, and now we are being blamed, then in this situation we can show our humility. But in case we have not done anything and then we are being blamed wrongly, then it is difficult to maintain that mood of humility. And regarding the reflection, turning on the light, and here we have come to the point that if we have a very strong sadhana, we follow the instruction like you mentioned, that before doing our chanting, we have to pray to the spiritual master, to the parampara system, to the previous acharyas, and then we focus on our hearing. Then we can get the energy of the previous acharyas and spiritual master, and this will enable us to like face the challenges, and we can easily overcome those difficult situations. So this was some of the points that we discussed too much.
Thank you very much for this sharing. Hare Krishna.
We have Vishwambara Das.
Hare Krishna, Silgurudev, please accept my most humble obeisances. Silgurudev, I could not communicate with my group, so I would like to express my own reflection. Here for the first when was the last time I consciously choose humility as my weapon, not to be defeated, but to stay close to Krishna. For this one, Silgurudev, almost it happens almost every day. Sometimes Maya try to defeat me through many ways, but I try to humility beat it because it will affect my next day sadhana. It will disturb my mental peace, and that will lead to worse. Means that will not be that will be means the situation will be worse if we disturb mentally. So I try to be humble and not to express. Sometime I express, but sometime Maya means sometime I could not. Sometime I could not remain humble. I am because of my weak sadhana. And for the second one, if someone kicked me not physically, but through insult or betrayal, could I still care about their well-being? Means for this one, I am not so much compassionate like Lord Vishnu. I am trying to be more humble. Sometimes I pray to Lord and express my pain. Sometimes I chant Maha Mantra. Sometimes pray to Lord to for mercy, so that I may get strength to bear the insult. And for the third one, turning on the light of devotional. means to be in the mode of goodness and try to follow the teachings of the Shri Gurudev and our Acharya, so that we remain calm and patient in the provoking situation and during conflict. Sometimes I try to leave the place so that the conflict do not arise and we remain peaceful, and we'll have our next day sadhana very strong. That's thank you, Sulfude.
Thank you, Guruji.
Haribo, thank you for sharing that beautiful discussion. Okay. We continue. Creating the atmosphere. The more the devotion permeates, the less we will have deviation nations. Where we have to address nations as it manifests. If we increase the devotion, we create an atmosphere where there is less opportunity for deviations to surface. A rat is eager to go to a filthy place because he can find food and shelter. But if the environment is very clean, the rat will move on because it will not feel welcome. It is so important to always increase the Bhakti because it will then attract more Bhakti and less nations. In Kali Yuga, the atmosphere is becoming so vicious and negative because there are so many places where varieties of deviation can faster and grow like cancer. So Vishnu exhibited Bhakti, the selfless, caring mood of concern. The Bhakti acted like a weapon. The weapon of Bhakti radiates, but also blocks and checks deviation. Yes. Realization through contemplation. Continue your daily notebook with today's focus on the response under prayer. Response analysis. 4 minutes. Recall a recent situation where you were criticized or treated poorly. Write how you actually responded versus how Lord Vishnu would have responded. What does your reaction reveal about your spiritual consciousness? Positive track practice, 3 minutes. Notice when you are tempted into combative or aggressive spiritual behavior. Commit to working on the positive track this week. Concern for others like Lord Vishnu. Right. How can I help rather than fight in my current spiritual challenges? Thank you. Parting meditation. Daily meditation. Where there is Godhead, there is no nations. I will turn on the light rather than fight the darkness. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Gurudev, we have one question in the chat box. Should we take that? Mataji is asking, this question is from Rupali Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sometimes, due to my own familiarity and subtle pride, I have behaved improperly with my spiritual master and caused some tension. I have already sought his forgiveness, but perhaps Krishna wishes to purify me further, as I now find that our interactions often turn into arguments or tests. I am feeling helpless and introspective. How should I deal with this situation in a way that truly pleases my Guru and helps me grow in humility and devotion? She further adds, in addition to that, as a response, spiritual master started making distance. How should we handle that?
Yes, we should not try to impress the spiritual master. We should try to improve our devotional practice. If our devotional practice improves, everything will become better. Everything will become nicely resolved. Easily. So you should go into deep meditation, prayerful mood, should go into prayerful mood. Should get into putting on the light by looking to ourselves and try to see what else can I do, what else can I do. Think about this. In this way, everything will become naturally resolved because we are looking for solution. Krishna will certainly give us all the necessary things and everything will be fine.
Thank you so much, Gurudev, for this wonderful session. These deep cleansing sessions are really helping me particularly. One thing that stuck to me always is you mentioned without humiliation, there will come no humility. So every time I get a situation, I always keep this in the forefront of my mind. And of course, the last few days has been thoroughly cleansing me. Thank you so much. This helps
Very good.
for everybody.
Very good, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, all the devotees. We wish to thank you for your time, and we'll see you back tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
You finished? The hands are there. 2 hands are there.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
And
Yes.
also in the chat box, I think I saw.
One question came in the chat box, which I took. This is in Portuguese. Shweta Sharma, please go ahead. Matji.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, my humble obeisances unto you. Dhanvat Pranam. Guru Maharaj, I wanted to know, since Bhishma Panchaka is going on, I am observing Bhishma Panchaka first time. So this is my second day without eating much. So I am finding it little difficult to how will I till Thursday, how would be I able to do it? So please suggest what should I do so that I can complete it.
Did they ask you to do anything?
No, you said that what you want to means avoid in this beach panchaka. Tell that. I said grains and milk products.
So what should I do? That is what we have decided. We told you right from the beginning, I don't want to ask anybody to do anything. You should decide what you can do That's the word right from the beginning before we started everything. So you have decided what this is what I have to do. Want me to change it? It is not my decision. So what should I do?
Okay. Okay, Guru Maharaj.
We have Narahari Das. Guruji.
Yeah, Gurudev, thank you so much for the lecture. I would like to ask, because here we clearly see how the Lord is so compassionate, so lovingly, even when he was challenged by Bhrgu Muni. So my question is that we have a very long history, especially in the West, of a Judaico-Christian tradition that shows a God that is very rageful, anger, and is always punishing and threatening the people. And unfortunately, this culture of rage goes even nowadays in the plea of Judaico-Christian faith and religion. So I would like to ask Gurudev to speak a little about that.
Now we have come to Krishna consciousness. Since we have come to Krishna consciousness, we have a different tradition, which we're just hearing how Lord Vishnu demonstrated. Lord Vishnu demonstrated being responsible for our actions, not justifying deviations, not denying the situation, not hiding anything, but he accepted responsibility, and we have been discussing about when there is devotion, where there is a devotion, darkness will not stay. That means there is no ignorance. I mean, there's no difficulty. There is no confusion. I could give you an example. Rats, rodents will stay in the dirty places. Rodents will not stay in clean, sparkling places. So we are in an environment where we are cleaning, keeping everything clean. That is devotion. Therefore, no revenge, no confusion, no argument. Everything is clear. Humility is a powerful weapon. That's what we learned. And with that weapon, we explain. How is it powerful? Why is it humility powerful? We explain that he accepted responsibility for everything, and everything was nicely resolved. So Bhrigu came back to the sage and told him his exploration proved that Vishnu is the supreme personality of Godhead to be worshipped by everyone. And everyone accepted everything. No argument, no confusion. Finish. That is Bhakti. That is the jurisdiction of Bhakti. Everything becomes easy, sweet, and clear. All right.
Thank you so much, Gurudev.
Jayanand Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Yes, so Madhavi, please practice everything. Practice everything. The benefit is yours. Hare Krishna.
Hare Shambhu
Jayanand.
Maharaj. Hare Shambhu Maharaj. Maharaj,
Yes.
once you mentioned that if we do like an offense to a devotee, and in case a devotee become a pure devotee at a later stage, then the reaction of that offense will magnify, because the purity of that devotee has increased, so the reaction will also increase. So now, when we are working at our workplace, we have many many non-devotees, but if we not deal with them nicely, like we deal with devotees, we try to justify or we try to argue with the boss, then in case they become devotees, and if we have offended in the working environment, will we have the same reaction like the devotee who is like in a small devotee has become a pure devotee? Will it follow the same pattern?
Prabhu, this is a universal law. Would you mention any name? It's a universal law that holds true everywhere, all the time. Not that in Mauritius it will work less. In Nigeria it will work more. In India it will be 1,000 times. It's a universal principle. If one becomes a devotee, the reaction comes. It doesn't matter whoever the person may be. So it's better to rectify our situation now before that person becomes a pure devotee. Her Grace, Mother Anjali said, she has learned so many things from this discussion and she's going to practice it. That is the idea. This is what we should do. This is the main reason why we are doing this thing, to help us understand. Every beginning I will mention this. We are here trying to understand the danger of Aparadhas so we can carefully avoid them to attain the goal of Bhakti, Krishna Prema, going back home, back to Godhead. We repeated it many times. I didn't say it today, but every day I'll be saying that. So that's the purpose. So we should learn how to treat people nicely. Yesterday, we also mentioned the beginning of transforming loss back to love is to start treating people nicely. Whoever the person will be, should treat everybody nicely. So that's the reason for this discussion. So we want to do things differently now, not like before. Now we want to do something nicely. We want to do something better, because that's the purpose of knowledge. If one have knowledge, definitely, Krishna said one would not be in illusion again. Means what? Now we do things perfectly. So now we should do things perfectly. All right?
Yes, thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Gurudev, there is one more question from Shwetadeep Mataji. Should we take it today or?
No problem. You can say it now.
She writes, please forgive me, Srila Gurudev. My question is not from today's session. My question is regarding goals of life. I've heard the goal of life theoretically, but actually never realized it, never convinced about it. Therefore, I am not determined. What steps do I take to actually realize the goal and develop determination about it?
So here, you should hear. We just mentioned it now. Just now, we just mentioned it's a goal. You should hear. One day, If we hear it, then we practice. Then it will become a reality. We should hear. That's the only thing. Without hearing, we cannot be there. All right, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev, for answering everybody's question. So we've come to the end of today's session. I would like to thank all the devotees in the back end and in the forefront helping me for this seva. And thank you, Srila Gurudev, for once again enlightening all of us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Guru, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj ki jai, Sri Radha ki jai,
Srila Gurudev ki jai.
Sri Brat ki jai, Bhishma Panchak ki jai, Hare Hare Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
जो কিছু ওর পিলু তুয়া পদে নন্দ কিশোর মানস দেহ গেহ जो কিছু ওর পিলু তুয়া পদে নন্দ কিশোর সম্পদে বিপদে জীবনে মরণে দায় মম গেলা তুয়া ও পদ বরণে সম্পদে বিপদে জীবনে মরণে দায় মম গেলা তুয়া ও পদ বরণে মারবীরা ফবি জয়ীছা তোহারা নিত্য দাস প্রতি তুয়ায় অধিকার মারবীরা ফবি জয়ীছা তোহারা নিত্য দাস প্রতি তুয়ায় অধিকার জন্মাবিময়ে ইচ্ছা যদি তোর ভকত গৃহে জনি জন্ম জন্মাবিময়ে ইচ্ছা যদি তোর ভকত গৃহে জনি জন্ম কীট জনম ভকতি বিনোদ কহে শুনকান রাধা নাথ তুহু আমার পরাণ মানস দেহ গেহ যো কিছু ওর পিলু তুয়া পদে নন্দ কিশোর মানস দেহ গেহ যো কিছু ওর পিলু তুয়া পদে নন্দ কিশোর মানস দেহ